With the search in Thailand, at least 19 people have died in that country. The U.S. State Department says it is sending $2 million in humanitarian aid. NBC News international correspondent Danielle Hamamdjian joins us now. She's been tracking all this. Danielle, I know it's the middle of the night right now in Myanmar and Thailand. What are officials saying, though, about how that search effort is going?
Okay, it is camped on the of staying in if they even have somewhere left to call home. Red Cross says it's about food and shelter. 72 hours, more than 72 hours have now gone by Friday's earthquake, and this was a critical window for those trapped under the rubble when can realistically water going forward. However, the survivors
but that changed.
Yeah, and just in the past few moments, the State Department said that it had received a formal request to help authorities in Myanmar. The State Department also confirming a USAID response team is traveling to Myanmar to identify the most pressing needs. Still, the U.S., its absence is being felt on the ground, there's no doubt. And this is despite the State Department saying last week that cuts to foreign aid had not affected the ability of the U.S. government to respond to the earthquake. Rescue teams from India, Malaysia, Russia, Thailand, and among other countries have arrived. They want to help deliver aid, but they're facing things like damaged roads, bridges that have collapsed, unstable communications and signals. So all that factors in. This is also a country, don't forget, in the middle of a civil war. One rebel group has said that the military government was still conducting airstrikes on villages, even in the aftermath. So this is really for its reach the injured and the homeless, because it's also a security issue. Kate Sinclair.
All right. Danielle Hamamdjian. Danielle, thanks.
Severe storm. Millions of people across the country.
Heavy rain, ice, snow, tornadoes have already swept through parts of the Midwest and parts of the South. At least 6 people are now confirmed dead in Michigan, Indiana, and Oklahoma. Nearly 500,000 customers are still without power.
And the threat is not over yet. This current system is now headed east and up the mid-Atlantic before another round moves in later this week. Meteorologist Rafael Miranda is tracking it all, but let's start with NBC News correspondent Kathy Park in Tennessee. Kathy, talk to us about the dam across the region and just some of the biggest challenges crews are facing right now.
Zinkla, good afternoon to you. So here in East Tennessee, as you can see, the skies have cleared. The storms have pushed on out of here, but it was a much different story. Earlier this morning, we were getting slammed with heavy rounds of rain, and localized flooding was certainly a concern. But yesterday, of course, was the big show, especially across the South and Midwest. There were dozens of tornado watches and warnings. Several severe storms rolling through several states, including Michigan, Wisconsin, and Indiana. Specifically in the northern portion of Indiana, there were wind gusts tracking almost 80-mile-per-hour winds in portions of that community, and that knocked down these mature trees onto homes and businesses. Hundreds of thousands of customers were without power at the height of the storm, and it wasn't just these damaging winds and downpours, but also wintry conditions, especially in Michigan. So those icy conditions, the snow, ice, that's hampering the ongoing recovery efforts. Take a listen.
The challenge with storms like this, when you see this level of ice, it does really intense damage to those lines, to the poles, to the trees. And so in some cases, you're not just making a repair, but you're actually rebuilding sections of power line.
And we should know that NBC News has been able to confirm at least 6 storm-related fatalities, 2 of those deaths being reported in Indiana, with those damaging winds actually toppling over a tractor trailer, killing the driver inside. Also, an Amish buggy was knocked over by these strong winds. And also in Michigan and Oklahoma, these trees were actually toppling over onto vehicles, trapping individuals, also killing at least 3 people. So a lot of tragedies that we're tracking across several states.
Kathy,
back to you.